After 3 rounds of competition, it all boils down to the final 5 delegates who still have a chance to be the new Miss Earth Philippines. As I call each finalist, she will answer the final question within 30 seconds. At this sound, yup, she will have to finish her answer. We got with us Mr. Ramon Dizon Partner SGV and Company, who will be handing in the list of our final 5. Thank you so much, sir. Good luck to our ladies. Elite 10 to final 5. Moving on to our final 5 is Rome, Italy, Celeste Cortesi. Good evening, Celeste. Looking so regal. All right, before I ask her the final question, let's make sure the other delegates won't be able to hear us. Headsets on for our remaining 9 delegates, please. All right? To our dear gentlemen, please put the headsets all ready. All clear. There we go. Celeste, good evening. Your final question goes. The deterioration of Boracay left our president with no choice but to close the island for 6 months for rehabilitation. What should be done to make sure that what happens to Boracay does not happen to our other tourist destinations?
Good evening, everyone. I agree with the decision of President Duterte, and I think that Boracay need a drainage system because the juice of trash goes directly on the ocean. We have to control the capacity of hotel, and I think that we have also to
Time's up, but thank you for your answer. Celeste Cortesi, Rome, Italy. Thank you. Joining our final 5 is Las Piñas City, Zahra, Bianca, Saldua. Beautiful in blue, Zahra, Bianca. Headsets on for our other delegates. This is it, Zahra. Your question, the final one for you, goes like this. The deterioration of Boracay left our president with no choice but to close the island for 6 months for rehabilitation. What should be done to make sure that what happens to Boracay does not happen to our other tourist destinations?
We all know that Boracay used to be one of the most beautiful beaches, and now it's going to be considered as one of the most polluted. Now, in order for us to make sure that this doesn't happen in other tourist destinations, we need 2, or I'd like to say 3 things. First off, as responsible tourists, we have to make sure that we keep our tourist destinations clean, and it is our responsibility. The second is that the government should implement more strict regulations when it comes to creating these tourism spots. And the last one, our businesses should also take responsibility when they create that. Thank you.
3 things for Zahra, Bianca, Saldua, Las Piñas City. You are part of our final 5. Balingasag, Misamis, Oriental. Berjayneth, Chee. Good evening. All right, again, to our gentlemen, headsets on. Good evening, Berjayneth. This is your final question. The deterioration of Boracay left our president with no choice but to close the island for 6 months for rehabilitation. What should be done to make sure that what happens to Boracay does not happen to our other tourist destinations?
We all know that Boracay is such a beautiful paradise here in the Philippines with white sand beaches and blue water, crystal blue waters. It is our home and it is also a home to other people. What we must do in order to make sure that the other tourist places here in the Philippines does not be the same like Boracay is that we must respect this place. We must respect our home because no matter at the end of the day, our home is our earth and we must do everything to save our earth. Thank you.
Oh, just in the nick of time. Thank you so much, Berjayneth. This is our home. Move forward and smile because you are part of our final five. San Rafael, Bulacan, Chee de Jesus. So many fans in a Mall of Asia arena to our delegates. Headsets on. Okay, Chee, good evening. Okay, this is the question of Jean Nicole de Jesus. The deterioration of Boracay left our president with no choice but to close the island for 6 months for rehabilitation. What should be done to make sure that what happens to Boracay does not happen to our other tourist destinations?
As our president, Mr. Duterte, says, change is coming. We must all become responsible travelers and respect our ecotourism spots. Because if we do not change the way we travel, this island, the Philippines, our nation will not take care of us. If we take care of our island, our nation will take care of us as Mother Earth. Thank you very much.
Take care of our environment. The environment will take care of us. Thank you, Jean Nicole de Jesus. And this time, completing our final five. You still have a chance to be our next queen. Titay, Zamboanga, Sibugay, Halimatu, Yushawu. Congratulations for making it to our final five. To our remaining ladies, our delegates, maraming salamat. Let's give them a big round of applause. You girls were so amazing. Thank you. Okay, here is the final question for the final time tonight. The deterioration of Boracay left our president with no choice but to close the island for 6 months for rehabilitation. What should be done to make sure that what happens to Boracay does not happen to our other tourist destinations?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boracay's closure is actually a lesson learned for everybody. This Boracay Island's closure is a perfect example that we should weigh short-term economical benefits against long-term environmental effects, as I've said earlier. Yes, despite the Boracay Island's contribution in tourism industry, it has harmed our environment. As what Mahatma Gandhi once said, our Mother Earth provides something that we should not just only ignore. Thank you.
Halimatu from Titay, Zamboanga, Sibugay. Talking about plans for Boracay. Thank you so much. Put your hands together for our final five. Good job, ladies. Now, it's all in the hands of our jurors to select the deserving lady who will carry on the legacy of Beauties for a Cause. This is going to be a thrilling chase to the end. Be there when we crown the new Miss Earth Philippines when we come back. Our final five.